Most parents would never do anything to intentionally hurt their baby, and that is exactly why this is so hard to see. The moments that leave babies feeling most emotionally missed are often not dramatic at all. They are ordinary. A rushed tone, a distracted face, a goodbye that comes too fast, a cry answered with tension instead of calm. You can feed your baby, hold your baby, love your baby deeply, and still miss them in ways that matter more than most adults realize. This is not about guilt. It is about seeing the small, repeated moments babies feel far more deeply than we think. And once you see them clearly, some of the most ordinary parts of your day will never feel ordinary again. Item 1. Responding to your baby's distress with your own stress. The first thing that can quietly hurt your baby's feelings is responding to their distress with your own stress. When a baby is crying and the adult comes in with hurried hands, a tight jaw, a sharp voice, or a nervous kind of urgency, the baby is not only receiving comfort, the baby is also receiving the emotional state of the person trying to comfort them. That is part of what makes early parenting so hard. Babies do not just read the action, they read the atmosphere inside the action. Before they can regulate themselves, they borrow regulation from us. So if the body holding them feels alarmed, irritated, or flooded, the baby often feels even less safe, not more. This is not about blaming exhausted parents for being human. It is about noticing something powerful. Your baby does not only feel what you do, they feel how you are while you do it. Personally, I think many parents assume technique matters most, when very often the baby is reading the adult before the baby is reading the strategy. Item 2. Being physically present but emotionally elsewhere. The second everyday thing is being physically present but emotionally elsewhere. A baby can feel the difference between being near you and having you. That is what makes distracted caregiving more powerful than many adults realize. You may be in the room, you may be holding the bottle, changing the diaper, rocking the body, or sitting right beside them, but if your face is flat, your attention is split, your eyes are on your phone, or your nervous system is clearly somewhere else, babies often feel that absence without understanding it in words. They keep reaching, fussing, staring, vocalizing, and trying again, because they are not only looking for proximity, they are looking for connection. This does not mean a parent must be intensely engaged every second of the day. That would be impossible. It means repeated emotional absence during moments that should feel relational can leave a baby working harder to find you. A baby can feel the difference between being near you and having you. Item 3. Saying, "You're fine," too fast. The third one is saying, "You're fine," too fast. Now, the problem is not that phrase every single time. The deeper problem is the pattern underneath it. When a baby is startled, overwhelmed, frustrated, or frightened, adults often rush to make the feeling smaller before the baby has even felt understood. And very often, that helps the adult more than it helps the baby, because what the adult is really trying to do is restore normalcy as quickly as possible. But babies calm down faster when they feel understood, not when their experience is erased too quickly. Sometimes the better move is slower and softer. "I know that scared you. That felt like a lot. I'm here. You're safe now." The feeling does not need to become dramatic, but it does need to be met accurately. To me, this is one of the easiest loving mistakes to make, because adults often say, "You're fine," when what they really mean is, "I need this moment to stop feeling so big." Item 4. Using a rushed, harsh, or emotionally flat tone during caregiving. The fourth everyday thing is using a rushed, harsh, or emotionally flat tone during caregiving. Babies do not understand all your words, but they feel the emotional meaning in your voice, long before they understand the language. That means some of the most ordinary caregiving moments carry far more emotional weight than adults assume. A diaper change can feel warm or cold. Feeding can feel connecting or purely functional. Bedtime can feel like being gathered in or like being moved through a process. Even getting your baby dressed to leave the house can either say, "I'm with you," or it can say, "Hurry up, this whole thing is a burden." And babies feel that difference in pace, touch, tone, and handling. The task may get done either way, but the emotional meaning is not the same. That is what makes this so important. Babies often feel your tone long before they understand your words. Item 5. Treating clinginess like manipulation or spoiling. The fifth one is treating clinginess like manipulation, weakness, or spoiling. This is one of the saddest misunderstandings in early parenting because when a baby reaches for you, cries for you, wants to be held again, or seems unable to settle unless they are close, they are not running a strategy. They are signaling a need with the only tools they have. Babies build attachment by seeking closeness to the people who help them feel safe. That is not a flaw in their character. That is how early trust is formed. So when adults talk about a baby as spoiled for wanting comfort, or too dependent for needing contact, they often misread one of the most biologically normal things in the world. Comforting a distressed baby does not teach emotional weakness. Repeatedly experiencing safety is part of what eventually helps build emotional strength. Personally, I think one of the saddest myths in parenting is how often a baby's need for connection gets mislabeled as manipulation. A baby asking for closeness is not trying to control you. They are trying to find safety. Item 6. Leaving or handing your baby off without warm transitions. The sixth everyday thing that can quietly hurt your baby's feelings is leaving or handing them off without a warm transition. This is not about never going anywhere, never working, or never letting someone else care for your baby. It is about how the separation happens. For a baby, the way you leave can feel almost as important as the fact that you come back. A rushed disappearance, a sudden handoff, or a goodbye filled with stress can feel disorganizing to a nervous system that depends on rhythm, tone, and predictability. Babies do better when separation has some softness around it, even if it is brief. A familiar phrase, a calm face, a consistent ritual, a voice that says, "I am leaving, but the world is still safe." I think adults often underestimate how much babies feel transitions in the body. The issue is not leaving. The issue is whether the goodbye feels abrupt, chaotic, and emotionally confusing, or warm, readable, and survivable. Item 7. Only noticing the loud cries and missing the softer bids. The seventh thing is only noticing the loud cries and missing the softer bids that came before them. Many babies do not start loud. They become louder when the quieter version of the message keeps getting missed. Long before a full meltdown, babies are already communicating. They look away, they stiffen, they reach, they fuss, they quiet down in a strange way. Their tone changes, their body changes, their eyes change. But when those softer signals are repeatedly overlooked, the message often has to come back with more volume. That is why some of the behaviors adults call dramatic are not really the beginning of the problem. They are the late stage of a message that tried to arrive more gently first. And I think this is one of the most painful misunderstandings in parenting. because a baby who feels under-read often ends up looking overreactive. Many babies do not start loud. They become louder when the quieter version of the message keeps getting missed. Item 8. Filling every moment with stimulation and not protecting calm. The 8th everyday thing is filling every moment with stimulation and not protecting calm. A baby can be entertained and still feel emotionally overloaded. That is one of the hidden problems of modern parenting. There is so much motion, so much noise, so much screen-lit soothing, so much pressure to keep the baby occupied, engaged, distracted, and constantly receiving something. But babies do not only need stimulation. They need rhythm. They need room to settle. They need lower intensity moments where nothing dazzling is happening and the nervous system can soften instead of constantly brace. Real connection is often quieter than entertainment. A baby does not only need a new thing to look at, they need a face, a voice, a predictable routine, a slower moment, a body that feels safe beside them. Personally, I think one of the hidden problems of modern parenting is that a baby can be constantly occupied and still feel underconnected. A baby does not only need entertainment, they need room to settle, connect, and feel the rhythm of safety. Item 9. Laughing at, filming, or publicly performing your baby's distress. The 9th thing is laughing at, filming, or turning your baby's distress into a performance. Now, this is not about one harmless moment of surprise or one nervous laugh from an exhausted parent. The deeper issue is what happens when a baby's real distress is treated more like content than communication. A baby is overwhelmed, frightened, frustrated, or dysregulated, and instead of being met first, the moment is watched from a distance, laughed at, or captured as something amusing. But the fact that a baby's distress looks small to an adult does not mean it feels small to the baby. That feeling is still happening in their body in real time. The adult may be coping with humor, but the baby is still having the experience. And I think that matters more than people realize. What babies need most in those moments is not an audience. It is a regulated person who reads the feeling seriously enough to help them through it. Item 10. Making your baby feel like their needs are too much. The 10th everyday thing may be the deepest one of all. Making your baby feel like their needs are too much. This does not usually happen through one dramatic moment. It happens through patterns. A sigh that comes too often, a resentful tone, a tense pickup, a muttered frustration, a look that says, "Not again." A way of caring for the baby that feels burdened more than welcoming. Every parent gets overwhelmed. Every parent gets tired. This is not about pretending those feelings never happen. It is about the repeated emotional environment the baby lives inside. Because long before babies understand words, they understand something about how care feels. They learn who helps them feel safe. They learn what kind of reaction their needs create in the room. And one of the deepest hurts for a baby is not only unmet need. It is the feeling that their need itself is unwelcome. To me, this is where guilt is useless and honesty is everything. Parents do get overwhelmed. What matters is noticing the pattern early enough to change it. So no, this is not a video about bad parents. It is a video about small moments that babies feel more deeply than adults realize. And the good news is that the same small moments that hurt can also become the moments that heal. Babies do not need perfect parents. They need parents who notice, soften, reconnect, and keep learning how their baby experiences care. They need adults who understand that love is not only something you feel, it is something your baby has to be able to sense in the way you hold them, answer them, leave them, return to them, and move through ordinary life with them. That is why the smallest moments in parenting are rarely small to a baby. Your baby will not remember every diaper, every feeding, every rushed morning, but their nervous system will remember how care felt. And once you understand that, some of the most ordinary parts of parenting become sacred again.